sometimes, although people's approach are not necessarily so subtle or kind necessarily, they remind me of things that I had every intention of mentioning anyway. Somebody brought up an important factor, and I've researched that as well. Has anyone also considered, as was just mirrored back to me, okay, what would happen if we all gained access to our trust, our Treasury Direct accounts that do in fact belong to us? That is your inherent birthright as a sovereign divine being. You are a spiritual being living a holographic experience, if you will. So what would happen if we all flooded the system and we all gained access to our money at once? Okay, well, we know AI is already on the rise. We know the transhumanism agenda is on the rise. But if everybody, I don't personally, it does not hold true to me. I had to fight for disability due to my physical back disability and my extensive surgeries years ago. I had to fight for 5 years as a single mother with children through the system. Although I had enough work credits in because I started work at an early age. And when I say early, I mean I started working and actual getting paychecks by the age of 10 or 11. I do mean early. I had my credits in the system. And although I incurred my disability by the age of 21, I struggled through the pain to continue working while I fought the system until I won. It was not easy. Nobody said it would be. But I won, and I'm grateful. But we have to consider, if we all flood the system all at once and gain access to what is our inherent right, where would that leave everybody? Those that you love, yourself included, businesses and operations. Because although AI is on the rise, we all know this, I think this would affect many of us greatly in our everyday living. I do. And so with that said, not only that, you got to realize these accounts, okay, so many are looking at the negative aspects of the Kabbalah or the Illuminati. Let me say, because money is an energy exchange, they kind of did us a favor, or we kind of did ourselves a favor by our ignorance and our lack of ability to question and just sign ourselves off, or our parents getting tricked into it, what have you, however you choose to view that as. Okay, it's really kind of irrelevant. But the truth is that money exchange, because it's also our, from my comprehension of it all, my understanding is that through the stock market and through our inability to access and the exchange of the energy has helped these accounts to significantly grow and increase. That is my understanding. If anybody hears this message and I'm wrong, please kindly bring it to my attention. I will correct it. Okay? But my understanding, guys, is that there's plenty of abundance for all. No limitations. The sky's the limit, guys. So now it's about being grateful for that, knowing that, rather than just the demand of I want, and the greed factor we're all setting forth. I understand we're all angry and we're all looking at, well, they deceived us. But understand you played a part in the overall scheme of things as well. We've all been players in this fictional game called life. Remember the board game called life, right? Or Monopoly? Well, they've monopolized on us. But once each of us discover how to access that, as we keep digging further, and it's my belief, there are many options available to us. That is what I'm seeing. There are many tools. I'm seeing many options available to us. It's how we choose individually to go about it. And I think for each one of us, that access is going to be different. And I believe with that comes a lot of responsibility and understanding who you are, understanding how to be and to do, showing our spiritual growth, our maturity, our gratitude, showing our ability to take that responsibility, the sole responsibility of being trustee of that account, to a non-deplenishing account, guys, and to be trustee of that account. I believe kind of what's expected is that we show our spiritual growth and maturity here, and that we're responsible enough. You don't have to agree with me. That is my perspective from the knowledge I've gained and where I currently stand. You don't have to agree with me. That's what's great. We all have choices. We don't have to be on the same page. We might have small, petty differences. But to reach a higher understanding and to constantly, the only thing constant is change. To be conscientiously aware and knowledgeable is to forever expand and be open-minded, and to expand your consciousness awareness, and to be open-minded to new alternatives, ideas, avenues you can take, different paths to get to where you want to go. This is how I perceive it. Once again, doesn't mean I expect you to be necessarily where I'm at. Some of you will get what I'm saying, some of you won't. Some of you will be above and beyond where I'm at. And maybe you could reach a hand back and guide me as well. Because my sole intention is to do what's best, not only for myself, but for the rest of you guys. And as that I discover information is to disperse it to you, and vice versa, is that we teach one another. Once again, I believe it's about an exchange of information where we can both learn from one another. We both can teach each other something. So let's this be effective communication and exchange of information to get us all where we want to go. But remember to already count your blessings and to be grateful and consider yourself abundant already, rather than focusing on the lack of. So anyway, just needed to bring clarity to that, because some people can just, and this is why I started, back when I was trying to dispense info before, so many negative, rude, or abrasive folks that made me back off from that, because I really need to focus on the positive things in life. And when I get distracted by the negative energies, especially being an empath, it's real easy for me to lose focus on where I know I personally need to be. So therefore it holds me back from further developing my own character and where I'm at. So I'm not gonna, as I just checked out another channel that I'm new to, an important factor she brought up was the enabling factor. And as somebody who's been a codependent enabler to a narcissist, as an empath, it's real important to set bounds and not be that enabler. And so that's where you learn to set your limits and bounds and not let others draw you back. So as I move forward, I hope that you'll move forward with me. If you pull me back, I'm not going to allow that. So much love.